Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. First, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to introduce our current Lonza situation. Could you move to the next slide and skip this and the next? Yeah, thank you. Lonza has actually over 120 years history and could be divided into two parts. So one is called LSI, which is Lonza specialty ingredients, which supports to the industry other than pharma and biotech and nutrition. But now we are trying to divest this business and more focus on we call LPBN, which means Lonza, Pharma, Biotech, and Nutrition. Could you move to the next? So this area, so I'm talking about this area. So the sales revenue last year was 4.4 billion Swiss franc with 12% growth. And in the downside, you see we took care of over 1,000 projects a year in 2020. Could you move to the next? Yeah, and LPBN could divide it into 4 divisions. From the right-hand side, it's a CHI called Capsule Health Care Ingredients. This we manufacture a capsule as well as some health ingredients. Then I'm sorry, yeah, thank you. Cell and gene, okay. Cell and gene at the bottom, you can see the bioscience. This department provide some like early stage support, such as human cell line or buffer, media, and some device to measure the bioassay and also testing to measure endotoxin and so on. And besides these areas, left 3 are mostly CDMO, contract develop and manufacturing organization. Could you move to the next? So now, first, let me focus on this CDMO function. Now, from the left, the first area is called small molecule. So we manufacture bioorganic synthesis, and we do also the drug product production, mainly for oral and inhalation. And in the middle, we call the biologics, but we do the mammalian cell culture manufacturing as well as microbial fermentation. And this area contains some ADC, bioconjugate, which includes ADC, antibody drug conjugation. And we do the mRNA, like a Moderna vaccine, so we manufacture. And the right-hand side, it's a cell and gene, it's a regenerative medicine. We do autologous, allogenic, and with vector production. Let's move to the next. So COVID-19, so the big issue for all human beings, and we are much affected. So how Lonza have been involved and contribute to the fight with the COVID-19 pandemic? You can already see some customers' name. So these are the customers and allow us to publish in public. So these are customers we work together and manufacture the products and development. And even in the LSI side, like 16 like a microbial solution were approved by EPA in the US, and because it's effective as a COVID-19. Move to the next. In addition to the COVID-19, so there are many customers came to us last year, and these are the customers that brought us new projects. And this not only includes COVID-19, but also like ADC or gene therapy, cell therapy area. Thank you. Next. So talking about number, I said last year we handled or we supported more than 1,000 projects. And this is some more breakdown. In the left-hand side, you can see the small molecule, and the top as a total, and the middle number is a preclinical. and also the clinical trial. At the bottom, the commercial project we've been manufacturing. And same number for the biologics in the middle. And the right-hand side, so because the cell and gene therapy, there are not many products in the market yet as like a small molecular biologics. So we've been doing the cGMP production for this cell and gene therapy for more than 20 years. And last year at the bottom, so we supported over 120 projects. So move to the next. So what kind of foundation and the technologies so we could do this that make us enabled to do this? First, more than 1,000 customers come to us and the requirement. So that's actually our asset, right? So it's enabled us to challenge these projects. And also we have a wide variety of technology supported by R&D. So although we are CDMO, but we try to establish our proprietary technologies in certain area. Then at the bottom line, so the integration is other thing. So from the clinical trial to commercial or drug substance and drug products, sometimes we work very aligned together with each other and also spontaneously. So this shortens the time of development and it's enabled us to handle many projects. Yeah. And also manufacturing efficiency, which is supported by R&D, not only R&D, but the QC, QA, and regulatory. And the right-hand side, the last but not least, very important thing is the people and our expertise. So move to the next. So talking about the R&D, so let me give you some example that we've been doing. So left-hand side is a good example to integration. We manufacture API, including a high potent API, and then we do the like a drug particle size control engineering and the drug products for the oral, and then we manufacture the capsule. It's a full set of technology we can do. And the next, this is a machine called Cocoon. It's for the personal medicine, such as autologous CAR-T technology, therapeutic. So this is a model. This is a 50 centimeter cubic, and one machine can make the one production for the one patient. So you can scale out your products by patient. So this gives like a business way to the autologous business. Then not only for that, right-hand side, we do some IPS. We do some IPS. We are the first company to make a GMP grade IPS, and we still provide them to the NIH in the US. And Bacthera is a joint venture with Christian Hansen and specialized in the microbiome. Right. And then we do the messenger RNA and the episome technologies. Then right-hand side, so we also intensively try to introduce our the electrical the record, such as batch record, and we also do some virtual tour, virtual training, and virtual audit. Thank you very much. Next, please. So this is moving to the facilities. This is the map of plants. So where we invested last year. So yellow one is new facilities. It's South China, Guangzhou. We opened up mammalian production. And we do the 1,000 to 2,000 liter scale production there. And the blue ones are the expansion of capacity. And the green one is that we introduced new technology to the sites. So could you move to the next? And one example of our facility, I'll show you the production sites called IBEX, which is located in the Visp, it's a South Switzerland. And the photo you can see here is actually computer graphic of completion of IBEX. It's 5 huge buildings. One building contains 2 wings, and one wing has 3 floors, and one floor has 3 suites. So it's a build and shell. It's already built in, and together with some common function, or such as like a buffer production, QC, QA, and our employees are like ready to the new projects coming in. So what the concept with this, the shell are ready, and the common function already, and the people already, and we still customize the core parts such as bioreactor or downstream process. So we fast to be ready to make a production with a customized way. So next, please. The IBEX has some could be divided in some. Like a first IBEX design support the early stage production, up to the phase 1. It's 1,000, 2,000 liter typically, and multi-purpose facilities. Then in the middle, IBEX development is also multi-purpose support, but it's for more the later stage development through the commercial. And at the bottom, IBEX dedicated is a dedicated facility for one project or one customer. So like this, IBEX can support from small to large scale. And as you move on to the next. This picture is actually the current production. So some are already completed and alive. Right, so the projects started with the Sanofi as a joint project. Then we now manufacture the Moderna COVID vaccine here as well. And for the future customers, some customers allow us to share the name to the public, some not. But as you can see, there are some customers lined up to these facilities. Thank you very much. To the next. So I said there are some divisions. Let me get back to a little more details. So the small molecule, we do the intermediate. We manufacture the intermediate and also API, including a high potent API. We also manufacture a payload for the ADC, antibody drug conjugate. And we have a capability to particle size control, even for the cytotoxic material, and have a drug product capability for oral and inhalation. And one of our area to focus on is the bioavailability enhancement. So move to the next. What's happening in this area, small molecule? We see the continuous high demand for the oncology and also some specialized medicines. And as a pipeline, were dominated by small companies. And these companies tend to outsource some function like manufacturing or some development. So what is our priority? So the movement of this trend, the small and mid company owns most of the pipelines. We try to adopt this business model and start the smaller company than the companies we dealt with, and with the early stage. We try to invest the facilities for high potent API and to keep the leading position for the particle size engineering. Move to the next. So, talking about biologics, so what we do is, I partially said, but we do the both mammalian cell culture and also microbial fermentation. And we do the early stage like screening, for example, immunogenicity or like aggregation. And we start from the cell line construction, the process development, analytical development, and from the small scale to large scale, like 20,000 liter commercial production. So we do also the ADC conjugate and messenger RNA technologies. Move to the next. Yeah, in this area, so what we can see as a trend, like we see the high demand of mammalian cell culture, especially for the large scale. So there are high demand of the high demand I see. And then coming to the mammalian pipeline, it's similar to small molecules. We see that many small companies own the pipelines. And meanwhile, ADC is somehow a little different. So the specialized facility and the specialized knowledge, the company with these kind of things are main players. So, and the recent trend is, of course, COVID effect on industry, and we see more than 500 drug investigation, and last year 1,300 critical trial was done. So what is our priority? We try to offer the end-to-end offer for the small and large companies, and expand the capacity, such as IBEX and Guangzhou facilities. Next slide, please. And cell and gene therapy technologies. So we do the CDMO for autologous cell therapy and also allogenic cell therapies, as well as viral vector gene therapy. And we try to do that also end-to-end service here. Next, please. And we also see the strong market growth in this area for the regenerative treatment, and it is also accelerated by COVID-19. And we see in last year, 2020, rapid expansion of pipeline. More than 2,000 active therapies are under development, and more than 1,100 regenerative medicine are clinical trial. And our target is we secure the long-term sustainable growth, and we align our expansion plan to the aligned with the customer expectation. Next, please. So this, I already touched with some technology like a Cocoon or like a IPS. Here's some more to support this CGT area. So we do tissue acquisition in the US, and also plasmid DNA, and we make appropriate media and buffer by ourselves. So these kind of technologies support our CGMT activities. Next, please. So apart from the CDMO businesses, here, let me explain a little bit about bioscience overviews. So you can see the number at the bottom, over the 2,800 articles were published last year with using Lonza bioscience products. And cell line, the area connected to the gene and therapy, regenerative medicine, is the focused area for us. And we supply more than 280 primary cells. So we see the solid demand. I'm sorry, next, please. Yeah, we usually see a solid demand in this area. Then, because of COVID-19 shutdown, we see the reduce of demand in Q2 last year. But somehow it was recovered in Q3 and Q4. And meanwhile, many of you may face with, but the COVID-19 pandemic also affect on the supply side. There is some supply challenges for some raw materials, such as single-use materials. So we focus on the digitalized method and enhance our customer breadth, and also we try to be the first line for the CGT, regenerative medicine area. So that's our priority. So then next, please. So this is a CHI, called capsule and health cell ingredient overview. So last year, we produced 230 billion capsules all over the world in 10 production sites. And worldwide, we have more than 5,000 customers. Yeah. And the next page, please. So in this area, we see the continuous growth for the nutraceutical area. And it was even accelerated by COVID-19 last year. And meanwhile, pharmaceutical area for capsule is, we see a little bit flat or sometimes even negative growth. So what is our, the condition is we have very high market share, and we support the sustainable growth for this area. So with 10 production sites all over the world. Okay, the next piece. Yeah, what kind of culture and the values support the many variety of businesses of us. The first one is a collaboration. This means not only this is for internal and external collaboration. So the mindset of collaboration is important, I think. And also the next one is accountability. So we align with a customer and try to be transparent and accountable. The attitude is very important, right? And then focus. The third one is a focus. So we focus on the customer and market centric. So we focus on the area like a COVID-19, what our customer and for the patients is very important. And the fourth one is integrity. So we look for the rational solution and high probability. So the pragmatic solution. So that's enable us to work smart and have a good result. And last one is the openness. So our management doesn't have much like a multi-layer hierarchy. So it's an open organization, and we listen to the different opinions. I think it's sometimes very important to the people who grow in the different environment, different history. So these are the values define our cultures. Next, please. Actually, this is my last slide, and not only for the production or expansion itself, but we do care for sustainability. This is a 2020 result and our target. in 2030. So 2020, we didn't have any collective action or incident last year. And we saved energy 4%, rather more than the previous year. And same as also waste and CO2. So we will keep make our effort on this sustainability. As you can see on the right-hand side, we have more challenging target in here. So thank you for listening to my presentation. And, our effort is to make this industry like a pharmaceutical and biotech, also nutrition industry, to give the sustainable growth. So I look forward to working together with you. Thank you very much.